So we're using raw umber and Payne's gray. And this is going to be for the dark inside of the store. If there's another color that you think might work, please let me know. I'm open to suggestions. This will take more than one layer. You can see that I'm not going thick. We're going to take, maybe do one more layer or maybe 2 layers. We'll see how it goes. I'd like to see show some kind of something inside here, not just a dark, you know, some kind of an object, shelf. Like there's a hint of a shelf in there or something. We'll see. Some paints, some kind of, you know, some colors have a different feel when you apply them. I'm going over the flowers a bit. I changed her hairstyle.
Yes, I noticed. Yes.
Yes.
We didn't like the other one?
I couldn't figure it out. It's just too much of a hassle to figure out what's happening with her hair. So I just simplified it. Okay. This is why sometimes I like to work on black, but it's not, I mean, working on black just for the background being dark is not necessary. And I can see at the bottom, it becomes a tiny bit lighter. Okay. So now I don't have to put right now a light color, mix light color with this. For now, I'm just gonna keep going, but color is not that thick. So it's looking a little bit lighter anyway, without having to add white or titanium buff to it for now. Okay.
There's another triangular piece in front of her apron too, eh?
In front of.
Her apron. In front of
Oh,
her.
yes, here. Thank you, John. Yes. Yes. Okay. And now let's get the sketch going. Where's the sketch? Okay. Also, in this area, I was sketching this and I'm thinking, this bird could be real. Like, you know, could be a real parrot sitting in there. It doesn't have to be. I mean, a parrot will be having a great time in the window watching people.
I was thinking to ask you, is it supposed to be real or just a fake?
At first, no, at first it's like, it's not real, of course. You know, it's supposed to be a, you know, just kind of a decoration there. But then I thought, you know what, that could be real too. But it doesn't matter. We'll just put it there. We'll just put it there. Okay, here we go. Change into a smaller brush. Oh, come on. Because I added a bird at the bottom and it's not, I'm not sure if you saw it, if you noticed the bird at the bottom, and it's not real, that one. It's this. There we go. This is the first layer. Let it dry, and then we'll add second layer. Okay, so this is the second layer, same colors, raw umber and Payne's gray. Now, I'm still doing raw umber and Payne's gray here, but eventually when I get to the closer to the bottom, I'm going to start using mostly more of the raw umber and less of the Payne's gray, because usually you see more light coming through here. This, you don't see the light too much, light from outside too much, but here you do. So in preparation for that, I'm going to start switching to a brown. And I think 2 layers is more than enough if you find that your colors are looking clean. Now, in between, and I'm kind of looking, watching that the reference I have, and I'm going from there. So I see the dark is kind of stopping here, where the door is. That dark kind of dark brown there, and over here. And then slowly you see that the brown is becoming lighter. It starts to look lighter and lighter because of the door being open and the light coming through from outside. So I'm going to start with, because I switched to brown, I'm going to start adding at this point titanium buff to my brown. Okay, a bit of titanium buff into my brown. And it is more brown in the reference, it's brown, but with the raw umber I'm putting in here, it's looking a bit gray, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. I'm really not concerned about the temperature right now, because I can always glaze it any color I want later on. So if I want more of a brown color, more of the warm instead of the cool color I'm putting right now, I'll just glaze it with burnt umber. Right. Now, I'm going to add more titanium buff and a touch of raw umber in it. No Payne's gray at this point. So I'm just using titanium buff and raw umber. There's a kind of a little piece in here that's lighter than the rest. And it's a slab of stone, ceramic, whatever they have in here. This is going to continue to the outside.
But this is gray now. Is this?
Kind of a grayish, yeah, kind of a grayish color because of the raw umber. Why are you getting gray?
No, I'm getting light brown.
Yeah, that's fine. Right, light brown is good. Okay. Now I'm going to go a bit darker. For this part. Of course, I'm going to change, adjust the temperature, the values, not the temperature, sorry, the values, light and dark eventually, but for now, this is good. Now, let's do again.
This is only brown?
Brown and titanium buff, but more brown than titanium buff. Okay. All right. This is just the first layers. We're covering the canvas. Okay, go back now. Again to my raw umber and Payne's gray. Again, second layer. You can always adjust the background once we start putting colors, but for now it looks good enough. I like the way the brown is in the back. It starts like a small area here. It becomes wider, wider, wider over here. So it comes on an angle, like a triangle. And then over here, it's just like a rectangular. But I really like the way it opens up in the background. Okay, I'm going to use masking tape here. Usually I try not to, but because there's a big jump between the light color that I'm using for the wood around and the dark in here, I am going to use masking tape to get a straight line, because I'm not going to be able to do that. This is not oil, this is acrylics. So I can't do a soft edge blending colors. Okay, let's see. This is what the color I'm using right now is titanium buff, raw umber, and a very small amount of Payne's gray. I'm not concerned about this in here because the colors are going to be similar. But that line in there, yes. Between the dark and light, yes, I'm gonna do this again and redo it. Okay. Again. I have to wait for it to dry. Just put one here where the door is. And let's do that. Let's put the color for the door.
The same.
Yes, same as the frame, same as the frame. Now, this door, because it's open, I think I would just make it a tiny bit darker. So I'm using raw umber. Actually, the color is turning out really good. It's drying and it's drying into that kind of a lovely taupe color.
Yes.
Even in the reference, you see the door. When you look at the door, open door. Inside, you see that it's really dark. Let's increase the amount of raw umber in here, if possible. Yeah.
It looks like mauve.
Yeah, that's good. Whatever you get is fine. We're going to be adding more colors in there. More, we're going to highlight it, so it's fine.
In your camera.
Oh, in my camera, it looks mauve. Yeah, it's not mauve. It's just raw umber and a bit of Payne's gray and titanium buff. Now,
Oh, you have a Payne's gray also.
touch, a very small amount. Now, underneath the flowers bouquet, I'm going to go darker. So I'm going to take raw umber, but as well a touch of Payne's gray as well, because underneath here. Okay, that's because of the bouquet of flowers. And because of the angle of the wall too. Okay, let's clean that, clean my brush. This is titanium buff and raw umber. Again. I will adjust the value later on. It's not going to be like this. You know, like I mentioned before, I like to start with darks.
Inside the door, there is kind of not window, but
Yeah,
dark.
yeah, I know what you mean. I ignored that.
Oh, you ignore that?
Oh yeah, I simplified it a lot. I simplified what I'm seeing a lot. So,
Okay.
because there's so much work in the window, I really didn't want to put too much.
Oh, you make the door one solid color.
No, I'm gonna put a line in there, but with highlight. I'll highlight the line. Yeah. No, I'm gonna put a line on. I'm just putting right now just the first layers, and then I'm gonna be highlighting.
Oh, okay.
And adding a bit more detail.
Okay. Astero, it is not coming tonight.
I'm not sure. Not sure. Okay. So now again, I'm just softening these darks that I put out first initially. Now, I think I can remove this. Yep. I'll keep the one for the door. For now, until I'm done with everything and I'm happy with the colors. This is now I'm going to highlight the side of the door. I'm going to highlight this. I'm trying as much as I can not to have any specific details, especially here with the wall. So because I don't want to deal with this. This is not a focal point. I can always go back and add some detail of the wall. But for now, I just want to fill the colors in, and then I'll go back and adjust any detail I want.
Okay, but the wall, what kind of color it is?
It's the same colors we're using. So it's titanium buff and raw umber mainly.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. And I'm just gonna add a bit of more raw umber in here at the bottom. And then I'll make it a bit lighter later on. Okay, now going up. Whoop. I will deal with the details later on, frame and so on, and all of these things. I'll deal with that. But at first, I just want to see the colors on. And I want it soft. I don't want heavy. I'd rather not have heavy colors in here. Push in your colors into the bouquet because the flowers will come over. And it shouldn't look even. It's better if it doesn't. It's nicer if it doesn't look even. So the value here is lighter, and you can see it looks like a frame. It's just because I added a little bit more titanium buff here. So it's slightly lighter than the wall. Okay, let's put some more titanium buff. Raw umber. Let's see. Oops. More. Okay. Let's adjust the camera a bit. I would like not to see a sharp edge, but unfortunately, I can't blend acrylic that, I can't blend it softly. So I really don't have a choice but to see a sharp edge. Okay, so now, okay, all right. Let's highlight. Let me see if I can highlight this. Give it an edge. Inside the door. So if I'm looking at the door, the reference is completely different. I am not going by what I'm seeing there. I'm just going to do it kind of freehand, lighter color. It's like a wooden door. Okay, this is working. Simple. Really, really simple. So again, another one here. It goes down. This is very harsh right now. I'm going to be working on this in a minute. It's drying really harsh. This shadow as I'm trying to put in there looks too harsh. Oops. All right. Okay, that's good enough. Okay. I'm going to stop for a minute. Okay, so you see here, just this is, I'm connecting these colors together. So the door is like a silhouette. It's not really a real door happening, like realistic. It's not realistic. So I just want this to look like it's an open door. It's wood. It's like exactly the same like the rest of the wood around the window frame and the door. This is wooden, all of that. This lantern is going to be a glass lantern, and the bottom and top are gonna have silver or gold color. This is gonna be a challenge right here, but okay, continue this. That's the rest of the window. This is all titanium buff mixed with raw umber and a very small amount of Payne's gray. Okay, let's do one more before I start working on the detail, on this detail. Okay, let's do this. You know, I'm going to pretend there's nothing in those baskets, so it's better this way. And then I'll add the plants on top. In between, I need to go darker because this shadow in here, shadowy area. So I'm going to go darker.
Which part are you doing right now?
I'm doing the bottom part. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I wasn't seeing it. Okay.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. There we go. Okay. Let's take a smaller brush. I would say can take a round one. Take more raw umber and a touch of Payne's gray. I'm gonna go in between. I'm using a round brush. I can always go back. This is quite dark. I mean, this is kind of, I don't know if you can see it, but this is the color right there. Or in between in here. So I can always highlight any part that I don't want to see. I don't want to shadow in it. That's why I always like to start with darks, and then I can highlight and adjust. Even this right there, this is good start. because we're going to work on that still. Now, I'm not happy with this color, so I'm going to go back and use the same color I'm using right now, and I'm going to go over it and try to, oh, the glazing is not going to work. Titanium buff, lots and lots of raw umber. So I am not going to use, I'm not going to use, in this case, Payne's gray, because that's what I'm not liking. I don't like the color of the Payne's gray. It looks too strong in here. Let's continue. That's better. It's more like a brown. Much better. And here too. Let's push this in. Good. Let's go back and try to work on this before we highlight, before I start highlighting again and adjusting the colors on this side like I did here. So let's work on this part. What time is it? Yeah, I can do that. At least the first layer. This is, I prefer to finish tonight this part because I'm not sure if I mix the colors next week, if I'm going to get the colors, the same colors back on again. So I'm going to use, for now, a medium tone, which is titanium buff and raw umber. And I'm going to come here. Make sure there's no glare in this. It's a good soft color for now. Wow, it's dark, but that's okay. That's okay. I'd rather have dark because I need, when this is how I'm gonna get the shape when I start highlighting. Okay, let's take some titanium buff and add it to that dark color that I have here. Oh, it's good that I have the reference because I lost the shape. I will send you a picture of this so you can see clearly how.
The very, very white is the titanium buff.
Mhm. Yes, titanium buff with a bit of raw umber. It's not just titanium buff alone.
Oh, okay.
3 circles in here. Again, this is stone, so now I need to go dark. So I'm using now more of the titanium buff and raw umber, and I'm just going to soften in between here, this dark brown that I have. And now you'll see in a minute. Now I'm taking more titanium buff. It's hard to work with a monochromatic color. It's not that easy. It's you're trying to adjust, work on detail with 2 values, one color. But it's fun. It's a challenge. It's a nice challenge, and it's fun. I'm going to put one more down here. One more line like this. It will support the base. It'll be a nice finish for this. Okay. Again, some shadow in between. In between here. And down here. Nice little detail for that corner. Now, I'm going to go back. Titanium buff. Titanium buff with, of course, with bit of raw umber. I'm not using titanium buff by itself. Eventually, I'll put a shadow of that lantern behind the wall, or on the wall, I should say. Oh, I lost the whole lantern. Okay, that's okay. I'll put it back later. All right, let's Let's give this column very simple. Detail. Okay, so I'm going to do a detail like this. I'm going to stop in the center only. And you're welcome to put a masking tape if you like, or just do it freehand. But I'm leaving darks on both sides. I'm leaving the color of the first layer of the column. The first layer of paint I put there. It's going to be wobbly, but that's okay. All right, let's see. It just gives it a nice detail instead of flat. Same here. Okay, I'm not concerned about this too much because it's going to be flowers in front of it, but it just gives me a really nice, simple detail. Right, okay, let's go back and adjust this a bit. There's there's a bit of too much of a darks in between. It should be dark, but it's a bit too strong. So I'm going to do this. I'm losing the shape a bit, but that's okay. I'm going to take titanium buff, only titanium buff. And if I need to use white, I'm going to use white with my titanium buff, but I think I'll try without there. It's working. Perfect. Third ball in here. And then I'm gonna highlight. Highlight this. Highlight here. Even if this is going to look a bit different, that's okay. That looks like a column supporting, or the top of the column supporting the wood part. It's a nice detail. I'll fix it on this side when I'm putting color of the this color here. Yep, that's very good. That's awesome. It's working. Okay. See if this brush is good, or should I be putting masking tape? Let's cheat, put masking tape. Watercolor artists use masking fluid to mask the areas where they don't want the paint, right? Have you ever used masking fluid with acrylics?
I've never tried doing that.
Well, me neither. Wondering what will happen if we do that. Okay, now I'm mixing raw umber and Payne's gray. No titanium buff. Clean my brush. All right. Down here. When I remove the masking tape, if I find that it is too dark or too blue, then I can adjust with raw umber. This is what's happening down here. And this is what's happening here. Okay. Okay, let's take this off and see what we have. Not bad. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. Good. Let's take titanium buff, put it in here. It's good. It's almost like what I want to see in here. This is a bit down here. Adjust this a bit. We still have time. It's very strange with acrylics. It dries harsh. The color dries harsh. It doesn't dry like with oil, where it's soft and buttery. But it's fine. I'm sure we can live with that. It feels like I'm talking to myself, ladies. Everybody's so quiet. Are you still there?
I think it's still recording though.
Yeah, it's fine. I know.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it's only us. It doesn't matter.
I know. I thought
I know.
wow, recording.
Yeah, usually, I prefer that like noises where dogs are barking and,
Yeah.
TVs in the background, because it just interferes with what I'm saying. But other than that, if we want to talk, that's fine. As long as we
That's
don't.
exactly, yeah, I totally get it. The thing about the buttery like look, that's exactly why I was trying to wonder last time if it's mixed with some sort of medium, whether it would give like a soft finish, but I guess it just would take some experimentation. I have not experimented enough.
I don't think it will give it a soft finish. The buttery look is just because the color, the paint itself with oil is thick. It's just with acrylics, it's not thick enough. The paint is not
Mhm.
thick. So it's not only the medium that you're putting in there, it's the actual paint, the
Mhm.
thickness of the paint itself that
Yeah.
would make a difference. That's why. And of course, it doesn't dry fast, so you have time to blend. But I mean, you could here. I mean, it's working. It's fine. It just
Yeah.
needs a bit of back and forth, kind of light, dark, and if the colors in between that you're blending are wet, it's even better, because then you blend softly if they're wet. But it's not easy. I mean, it's not easy to. Right now, I'm trying my best to. Oh, look what I did. Woohoo!
May I see the bottom of the canvas again? Oh,
I'm trying to get a soft blending in between the darks and lights. The transition.
yeah.
I know there's a glare on this thing. It's not easy to see exactly what's happening. Even me, I'm not, I can't see well because there's a strong glare from the light.
Yeah.
I think it's good enough. It's fine. It will dry funny. I can tell it's gonna dry funny. It's gonna dry with like funny brush strokes in here because so many times I went over it. And I'm trying to not to get too close to the color of the wall, the door, because I don't want it to blend with the door, right? So I want it to be,
Not
yeah. All right, so you know what? This is gonna happen where I'm gonna go over the legs. That's okay, I'll put them back on. It's not a big deal. This is just raw umber right now. That's what I'm putting. It's not just raw umber. Just to, just so the door, the color of the door is not the same. I'm adding a bit of more raw umber in here. Okay.
Is that a ledge, Lael? Like she
Yeah.
stepped to?
Yes. This one here. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is. And I can see in the reference, I have, there's more light in here coming that way. And somewhere in here, because her foot is casting shadow over, and her foot is not like that. Her foot is not touching the ledge in the reference.
And all those baskets, they're on a ledge there as well?
Yes, yes, they're sitting on the ledge. They'll be, I'm gonna put,
Not baskets, but pots and baskets.
yeah, some of them are baskets.
Yeah.
Highlighting in between, trying to keep a bit of shadow. This is going to be easier tomorrow morning when I look at it because it's the paint will be, you know, will settle
Mhm.
and it
Yeah.
will be dry and I can, you know, go back and adjust a bit. So if there's any kind of adjustment that I'm going to do and it requires that you know, it's better if you see it. You know, if you need to see it, then I will record what the adjustment I'm doing. But if it's minor and it's not necessary, then I won't. This is gonna becoming really very thick paint.
For the outside, are you going to do anything like what she's stepping on going into the shop, or just keeping it very simple?
You mean this part?
No, where her foot is, you know, on the
Here.
outside.
Here, this part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. I'm gonna kind of highlight
Okay.
this part as well. Maybe next week.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a lot already.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be highlighting this. Adding another layer.
Yes. Yeah.
I have to wait for this to dry because the paint is becoming too thick.
Yeah.
And it's gonna start lifting. All right, that's good for tonight.
Pretty fantastic. It's a lot. Fantastic.